One of the many signs of the worrying level of shrinking of the Dead Sea is the popping up of thousands of sinkholes all around its shores.
In a startling turn of events, the Dead Sea in Israel has gone through an incredible makeover, leaving scientists speechless and prompting numerous questions. What if we told you that this world-famous natural wonder, known for its mesmerizing beauty and one-of-a-kind characteristics, has finally dried up? Imagine the implications and mysteries that await us as we delve into the startling revelation that has experts scratching their heads. Join us as we uncover the untold story of the once majestic Dead Sea and the incredible discoveries that have stunned the scientific world. The Dead Sea, located between Israel, Jordan, and the West Bank, is the lowest location on the planet. It is almost 10 times saltier than the ocean and is world-renowned for its mysterious waters that are impossible to sink in. It is the world's deepest hypersaline lake, measuring 997 feet. However, its reputation as one of the region's top tourist destinations is under threat. Its waters are slowly dwindling, and the scenery is undergoing irreversible alteration. Is Israel on the verge of its worst environmental disaster? Nestled amidst Jordan, Palestine, and Israel, the Dead Sea boasts a breathtaking Tiffany blue hue that shimmers under the scorching sun, casting an enchanting glow on the white salt formations adoring its shores. The beaches are a canvas of glistening salt, blending seamlessly with the smooth brown rocks that encircle them. Human activity leaves its mark with cabanas, tents, showers, and other signs of visitors scattered across the beach. The air carries a thick, salty tang, which can sting the throats and eyes of those standing at the water's edge. Renowned as the saltiest and most mineral-rich body of water on Earth, the Dead Sea harbors only microorganisms that reside near the freshwater plumes at its surface. Despite being referred to as a sea, it is remarkably 6 times saltier than typical bodies of water. This unique geology and composition draw a constant flow of visitors, with over 800,000 people exploring the region each year. For my Palestinian father, who grew up in Jordan, visits to the Dead Sea were an educational experience, as schools often organize trips to learn about its history and revel in its famed buoyancy. Tourists flock to the Dead Sea for various reasons, seeking relief from skin conditions or simply enjoying the novelty of effortlessly floating while reading a newspaper. Surprisingly, the Dead Sea is intertwined with an ecosystem that supports abundant life. The freshwater springs and aquifers surrounding the area are home to numerous indigenous plants, fish, and mammals. During migration, more than 300 bird species take refuge at the Dead Sea twice a year, traveling from Africa to Europe and back. The surrounding regions are adorned with lush subtropical vegetation, boasting fruits like bananas, dates, and grapes. Yet, this thriving environment faces a grim future, as the Dead Sea's waters and the entire region face an alarming trend of drying up. Since 1960, the water levels have been steadily dropping, receding at a rate of about 1 meter per year. Nearly a third of its surface area is lost to evaporation, evident from aerial photos that highlight the significant water loss. Resorts that once stood close to the lake's shores now find themselves kilometers away, requiring tractors and shuttles to ferry guests to the water. The consequences of the shrinking Dead Sea are profound and far-reaching. The shrinking Dead Sea has brought about a concerning phenomenon known as sinkholes, posing a threat to the surrounding areas. In November 2018, a harrowing incident occurred when Israel's Route 90 was shaken, causing several cars to be swallowed by the ground without warning. Fortunately, no one suffered severe injuries, but the damage was substantial. The continuous recession of the saline waters also leads to the depletion of freshwater aquifers surrounding the lake. As these aquifers lose water, they leave behind accumulations of salt. During winter floods, trickles of fresh water flow down from the mountains, dissolving the salt and creating empty and delicate chambers underground. Consequently, significant sinkholes have emerged near the Dead Sea, making traversing its surface a perilous endeavor. Until recently, the formation of sinkholes around the Dead Sea remained shrouded in mystery. However, this unprecedented situation has provided a unique opportunity for geologists like Guidon Baer and Itai Gavrieli to study the water changes and gain insights into the process of sinkhole formation. Utilizing time-lapse cameras above ground, scientists can track the water's movements in and out of sinkholes. Through these studies, they have discovered that the sinkholes are not isolated occurrences, but rather part of vast interconnected underground drainage systems called karsts, which facilitate the movement of water between sinkholes. With advancements in technology, scientists can now predict when a sinkhole might form and implement safety measures. Yet despite these efforts, completely preventing sinkholes in the region is unfeasible, as it would require an immense and impractical amount of water, approximately 1 billion cubic meters, to be added to the Dead Sea every year. The impact of sinkholes is evident in the closure of places like Mineral Beach, a tourist resort in the northern Dead Sea, which had to shut down in 2015 due to the sinkhole menace. The resort's management could not guarantee the safety of guests after several parts of the establishment were swallowed by sinkholes. Numerous other populated areas, including highways, bridges, roads, and beaches, have also faced closure due to the encroaching threat of sinkholes. But what are the reasons behind the crisis? The disappearance of the Dead Sea is attributed to a combination of factors, each contributing to the crisis in its own way. One of the primary concerns is the overall water scarcity in the areas surrounding the Dead Sea. Many of these regions are already grappling with water crises, and the situation is predicted to worsen significantly. For instance, Jordan is facing a yearly decrease in rainfall, which could escalate up to 30% by the year 2100, primarily due to the impacts of climate change. The Jordan River, the main source of water for the Dead Sea, is currently utilized to sustain lush farmlands and vegetation in the region. While the river may seem abundant, the arid climate necessitates extensive irrigation to support life. To cater to this demand, millions of cubic meters of water are diverted from the Sea of Galilee. In the 1950s, Israel implemented the National Water Carrier Project, which not only provided water to major cities, but also served as a symbolic move to establish the legitimacy of Israel as a nation after its occupation of Palestine. However, this diversion has had significant consequences, particularly for Palestinians who lack access to this water and must rely on costly water supplies provided by the government. Additionally, other neighboring countries like Syria and Jordan also extract water from the region under peace treaties with Israel. The historical overuse of water and issues with faulty water infrastructure have been exacerbated further during the COVID-19 pandemic, leading to more strain on water resources. Furthermore, as the temperature in the region continues to rise, water usage is expected to follow the same trend. The Max Planck Institute for Chemistry predicts an alarming average temperature exceeding 116 degrees Fahrenheit during the day and almost 90 degrees at night. This increased heat exacerbates water scarcity and puts additional pressure on water resources. The combined effect of these factors has led to the weakening of the Jordan River's flow, rendering it unable to adequately replenish the Dead Sea as it once did. The continuous diversion of water for human use has significantly impacted the delicate balance of the ecosystem, resulting in the alarming shrinkage of the Dead Sea. The second significant factor contributing to the disappearance of the Dead Sea is the presence of extractive industries that capitalize on its rich mineral resources. The Dead Sea is abundant in valuable minerals like potash, magnesium, salt, and bromine, which are exploited by companies like Dead Sea Works. The extraction process involves pumping seawater into shallow evaporation ponds in the southern basin, where the harsh sun rapidly evaporates the water, leaving behind valuable minerals. These minerals serve various purposes, including medicinal, fertilizer, chemical feedstock, and even as a food salt substitute. Dead Sea Works is remarkably efficient in its operations, capable of producing 3.3 million tons of potash from a single source, with assets worth an estimated $6 billion, according to a study by Silver Coast Research. Environmental concerns surrounding Dead Sea Works have been raised due to worries about over-extraction and overuse of water by the company. Despite these concerns, the Israeli Water Authority has maintained its collaboration with Dead Sea Works. In 2021, the Water Authority even granted the company an annual license, allowing it to extract more water than the previous year. Dead Sea Works claims that its methods account for only 9% of the sea's water loss, with 2/3 of the extracted water used for demineralization. However, environmental groups contest these figures, estimating that the actual water loss caused by the company is close to 30%. Another contentious point lies in the company's claim to return half of the pumped water after use, which is also disputed by environmental groups. Beyond extractive industries, irrigation practices in the region have also played a significant role in the demise of the Jordan River and the Dead Sea. Environmental activist Gidon Bromberg pointed out that irrigation is a major reason for the Dead Sea's decline. Israel, Jordan, and Syria have adopted water policies that encourage unrestricted agricultural use, with Israeli farmers receiving substantial government water subsidies, using half of the country's freshwater supply. Similarly, Jordan diverts a massive amount of water, approximately 71 billion gallons a year, from the Yarmouk River to the King Abdullah Canal for irrigation, leading to severe depletion of Lower Jordan's water supply. The issue of water consumption and its impact on the Jordan River and the Dead Sea must also be viewed through the lens of inequity, particularly in relation to the Israeli occupation of Palestine. Since 1967, the Israeli army has had complete control over all water resources and infrastructure in the occupied Palestinian territories. This has resulted in about 180 rural Palestinian communities lacking access to running water. Palestinian water consumption stands at an average of 73 liters per day, while an average Israeli citizen consumes around 300 liters per day. The restrictions imposed on Palestinians, preventing them from drilling new wells or deepening existing ones and installing water pumps, effectively put their lives in the hands of a government that has repeatedly violated their rights and appropriated their resources. Additionally, Palestinians are denied access to the Jordan River and freshwater springs, further exacerbating their water scarcity issues as the Dead Sea loses crucial water flows that would otherwise sustain its water level and, consequently, the water needed for Palestinian survival. But are there any solutions for it? The plight of the Dead Sea is not merely about preserving a picturesque location. It symbolizes deeper issues in water resource management. Saving the Dead Sea would signal a transition from an ailing environment to a healthy one, according to Salem Abdel Rahman, a Jordanian activist from EcoPeace Middle East. One proposed solution was the Red Sea-Dead Sea Conveyance Project, backed by the World Bank and supported by Jordanian and Israeli leaders. The plan involved constructing a 110-mile-long pipeline to bring water from the Red Sea to the Dead Sea, maintaining the historic landscape. Additionally, desalinated water from the Red Sea would be supplied to cities in Israel and Jordan for drinking water. While the project held potential benefits like water transfer to the Dead Sea, economic revival, and increased hydroelectricity usage, it also raised significant concerns. Issues such as damage to groundwater and Red Sea coral reefs, the mixing of the Dead Sea and Red Sea waters, and threats to archaeological sites emerged. Critics, including environmentalists from Friends of the Earth Middle East, argued that the project was a temporary fix that failed to address the root causes of the Dead Sea's disappearance. The political tensions between Jordan and Israel further complicated the situation, resulting in the project's cancellation in 2021. Among the alternatives proposed by locals and scientists in the region, one approach suggests allowing the Dead Sea to naturally retreat and reach equilibrium without fully drying out. Advocates of this inaction plan believe that the lake's shrinkage will eventually stabilize. Some envision the receding shoreline transformed into sinkhole parks, providing educational opportunities for visitors to learn about sinkhole formations. Another viable option involves the sustainable use of the Jordan River. By finding alternatives for drinking water, such as desalination and wastewater treatment, the river's water can be managed more effectively. Implementing water-efficient agricultural practices, such as cultivating low water-consuming crops, would also be a part of this approach. Additionally, encouraging realistic water prices can incentivize responsible water consumption. Ultimately, the future of the Dead Sea will require a comprehensive and sustainable approach, incorporating various strategies to address the ecological, economic, and political complexities surrounding this unique body of water. Hydrogeologist Karmit Shalom expressed a grim outlook on the future of the Dead Sea, noting that the current generation has failed to take timely action to save it. This lack of intervention is evident as Palestinian communities within Israel face the harsh consequences of dwindling and restricted water resources, forcing some to leave their homes. The Jordan River, once a powerful flow, now trickles due to excessive use, with water that could be used for drinking diverted away from Palestinian communities. The fates of the Dead Sea and Palestinian communities are intertwined, requiring a joint effort for resolution. To save the Dead Sea, the Israeli government must prioritize passing laws and repairing infrastructure to use the Jordan River more sustainably and distribute its water fairly to Palestinian communities. Additionally, the exploitation of the Dead Sea's minerals, a significant source of water loss, must cease. These measures can slow the decline of the Dead Sea, while governments and scientists explore ways to restore it. On a political level, restoring water access across the region is crucial for the survival of Palestinian communities and aligns with their broader struggle for human rights, reparations, and statehood. As we continue exploring the riddles of this amazing natural wonder, be sure to like this video, share it with your family and friends, and subscribe to our channel to remain up to date on future discoveries and new content. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you in our next video.